All right, let's continue. Oh, where's the volume here? All right, and
My boy moms feel me on this, but my son has my heart and my soul. I obviously am obsessed with Stevie Lee. She is just the greatest little girl in the world.
hold on, let me turn the volume up here. Yeah,
My boy moms feel me on this, but my son has
what?
my heart and my soul. I obviously am obsessed with Stevie Lee. She is just the greatest little girl in the world. But my
Okay,
whole life, I always wanted to be a boy mom. And I remember when I found out I was pregnant with him, and I was just ecstatic because I was such a tomboy growing up. Anyways, the whole point of me making this video is I had to share his preschool photo with you
okay.
because when I tell you, I opened up this email and I just hysterically cried. He is just everything. First of all, let me show you his photo from last year because the difference 1 year makes.
He's not everything. What? He's not just everything. You have a daughter too. Oh my god. He's just everything. That's horrible. What a thing to say. That your son is just everything. So she has a blatant, overpowering bias towards one of her children. Her male child, the son. I don't know how this is gonna go. So she mentioned her daughters being great too and stuff, but my son though, oh my god! I mean, my son, I just started crying. It was so amazing just seeing a picture of him. My daughter's great too though. Yeah, yeah. I mean, my daughter's okay too and stuff, but my son, my son though. I mean, shit. He is just the whole world. He is everything to me. I mean, my daughter. Yeah, yeah. Of course, I love my daughter, but then the yearbook photo with my son. Like, did you see that? I had a breakdown. I mean, my son. I mean, of course, I love my children equally and everything, but my fucking son, right? Wow.
My boy moms feel me on this, but my son has my heart
Didn't
and
mean
my
to start
soul.
it
I
over, but
obviously am obsessed with Stevie Lee. She is just the greatest little girl in the world.
all right. She
But
said
my
she's
whole
obsessed
life,
with
I
Stevie
always
Lee.
wanted to be a boy. My boy moms feel me
Whoops.
on this, but my son has my heart and my soul. I obviously am obsessed with Stevie Lee. She
Okay.
is
Obviously,
just
I'm
the
obsessed
greatest
with
little
my
girl
daughter,
in the world. But my
but
whole life,
but
I
my
always wanted
whole
to be a
life,
boy
I
mom.
always wanted a
And I remember when
son,
I found out I was
and I
pregnant with
finally
him,
got
I
one.
was just ecstatic because I was such a tomboy growing up. Anyways, the
Mm-hmm.
whole point of me making this video is I had to share his preschool photo with you
Mm-hmm.
because when I tell you, I opened up this email and I just hysterically cried. He is just everything. First of all, let me show you his photo from last year because the difference 1 year makes. My heart is crushed.
But of course, she's
Okay, this
obsessed
is last
with her
year. He
daughter
is
too.
just
But
I just want to squeeze him. He's so cute. Also, fun fact, I forgot it was picture day and I sent him to school in like a beach tank top. So his guns were showing, no big deal. But let me show you
oh,
this
guns! Your
year.
son's got guns. So your son's got guns
I
now.
I have no words.
Huh. Okay.
The sweater, the ears, the sideways smile, his hair. I am so obsessed with this child. The arms! Oh my god, he kills me. The old man grandpa knit sweater with the little dress pants. He is too much. Anyways, that's all I got for today. I just had to share that because I have been staring at that photo all day long. Squeeze your babies. Time truly flies by. I don't know how he's going to be 6 this year. and going into kindergarten. I can't talk about it or else I'll cry.
Hmm. I don't know. Um, I mean, it looks like in this video she really just wanted to talk about her son. Like this, she's just like, this video is about my son, so I'm going to tell you how awesome my son is and all the feelings I feel for my son right now. So I'm obsessed with my daughter, but this is about my son. So let me get loud and tell you that I'm freaking out about how awesome my son is and all the things about him. I don't know. I can't comment because I'm not following this lady. So like for all I know, she's also done the same thing about her daughter, and this is just kind of like this made it to the boy moms kind of like trend because now she's talking about her son. So, but it is pretty, yeah. Like I can't tell just from watching one video, but people are just like, her daughter's gonna see this. Yeah, like her daughter's gonna see this crying emoji. All right. Another one's like, this woman is absolutely disgusting. I say this as a boy mom. I love my daughter exactly as much as I love my son. But she kind of did say that she was obsessed with her daughter, but then she went into her son. I don't know. Yeah, this one's kind of on the fence. This isn't like, oh my God. Okay, this one's like, I feel convinced that many of these types of moms are so hateful to their daughters because they don't know how to protect little girls. Instead of learning a new way to deal with their own emotional trauma, they decide that the easier route is to treat the little girl shitty so they don't get too attached. The mom probably never felt protected as a child or teen, so she may not know what it looks like to protect a little girl. Yeah, she's like, they're like, again, it's just a theory, but every time they see something like that, they feel bad. Yeah. First, they feel bad for her, and then they feel really disgusted for her not having the willingness to protect her children. But then the other person's like, it's more about engagement than protection. And someone else is like, yeah, no, it's not just protection, it's engagement. And then she admits that she struggles with her daughter because she loves her, but she doesn't click the same because they weren't into the same stuff. And she doesn't enjoy spending time doing the same things as her daughter. So I get that because she said she was a tomboy growing up. So this lady will relate more to her son than to her daughter, just generally. But like it's not supposed to be about relating to, like, in my opinion, it's not about relating to your kids and enjoying the same hobbies as them. You're like, that's not your role in the relationship. They're not your friend. They're a life that you're bringing into the world and raising them so that they're able to protect themselves. That's not something that you need to click about at all. Like, I mean, it's just like you're supposed to just take responsibility for them. Like that's supposed to be enough kind of like motivation and fulfillment that you just do that. I'm not a parent, so I don't know. Maybe I'll just be exhausted after work and be like, oh man, I wish I had someone who could play video games, but my son here isn't interested, but my daughter is. I'm obsessed with her. I don't know, but my daughter is cool and all, but my son has my entire heart and soul. My daughter's cool and all, but my son has my entire heart and soul. Entire. Hold on. I need to watch this again just to make sure I completely understand what she was saying. Because did she say that?
My boy moms feel me on this, but my son has my heart and my soul. I obviously am obsessed with Stevie Lee. She is just the greatest little girl in the world. But my whole
Okay.
life, I always wanted to be a boy mom. And I remember when I found out I was pregnant with him, and I was just ecstatic because I was such a tomboy growing up. Anyways, the whole point of me making this video is I had to share his preschool photo with you because when I tell you I opened up this email and I just hysterically cried. My boy moms feel me on this, but my son has my heart and my soul. I obviously
Yeah, it's just a weird intro. My son has my heart and soul. Of course, I'm obsessed with my daughter, but my son, though, uh, oh well. I think more important than what this means, because we don't have the context, and I'm not trying to like tell like I don't know the story about this woman, so I'm not gonna take something she's saying out of context to make this video seem more like what it is. It's just more like, what conversations are we starting from this? You know, so what I'm starting is like, it's not supposed to be about how much they have in common with you. You have a whole other role to play that should be way more important, and there should be way more moments that you can engage with them beyond just their hobbies. Your goal is to help them find their hobbies and what they like to do, not be interested if they like the stuff that you like. That's crazy. Like, yeah, in my opinion. In my opinion. Like, you should want your kids to have very different hobbies from you, because that means that, that's a process of becoming their own person that they're going. Like, I'd be very scared if my kid just liked everything that I liked and not anything that I didn't like. I'd be scared that I'm actually somehow influencing that and making them feel like the stuff that they like that I don't like are wrong. And I'd be asking them about that. Like, I don't, that's my opinion. Toxic boy mom encounter. All right, we're gonna look for another one here. It's like way more sparse when it comes to these, like the ones that actually make sense to react to. All right, let's take a break. Oh, there's someone watching. Okay, well, if someone's watching anyways, then I might as well stick on this. But if you know any toxic boy mom memes or TikToks, you can send them in the chat and then I'll react to them. But I'm currently looking for some, and also I'm gonna be doing this for another 30 minutes. Then I'm out of here again. Well, boy mom says her son's future girlfriend can't take away the fact that she was at her first kiss. Yeah, that's a problem.
A boy mom says her son's future girlfriend can't take away the fact that she'll always be his first kiss. Yeah, that's a hot take. The mom, named Shelby, has since deleted her very controversial TikTok, in which she kind of said the most boy mom thing ever. And it did not go over well, with some even suggesting that the cops need to be called, which is taking the mom's
I
comments a
didn't realize
little too
that.
literally. She's just joking around in the way boy moms often do, right? But that, of course, is the problem with boy mom culture and a lot of parenting culture in general. These jokes tend to unintentionally schmexualize little kids in ways that really shouldn't be the status quo.
Schmexualize.
You know, putting little boys in t-shirts that say hide your daughters, or telling little girls they're gonna have to beat away the boys with a stick. Applying these very adult contexts to little kids is a very weird thing to do, especially given all the moral panics we're having about influencing kids. And then there's the whole aspect of boy
Right.
mom culture where these moms seem to assume that they will by default one day be locking horns with their future daughter-in-law over who gets to be the number one woman in their son's life. It's
Yeah,
just
that's
really
fucked.
weird. And it left a lot of people on TikTok kind of grossed out. It of course reminded many of the Greek myth of Oedipus, where the titular man is both his mother's son and husband, and of course is the namesake of psychology's Oedipus complex. Psychologists say that all this boy mom culture really does have real world implications, because of the way it often does create toxic relationships between moms and their sons' wives. But the response to this boy mom's joke did go a little overboard. In a response video, the mom said she's received tons of threats and some pretty shocking
Oh.
allegations of abuse. Granted, it's technically the kind of abuse that her joke was kind of predicated on, but still. Toxic boy mom culture absolutely should be interrogated. It's problematic and also very weird, but it's possible to do so without leveling dangerous and vile accusations. Hopefully, everyone involved can learn a thing or two about thinking before they post. A boy mom says,
All right. Well, that's good. I mean, hearing that kind of makes me think, yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm not calling any bomb threats or death threats or anything to these women. I'm just kind of giving my take on it. So that makes me feel better actually about what I'm doing here. So let's carry on, shall we? I'm trying to click toxic boy moms to see what I get. but I'm not getting a lot of this. Like, I'm not seeing. Oh my God, this looks bad.
So I just got stood up by my son. Tomorrow is his.
You got stood up. This is already bad. What do you mean? What do you mean you got stood up by your son? Your mom. You're the mom. Like, you don't get stood up. He just decides to meet a girl instead of you. That's weird. This is what I'm talking about. Okay. Play.
Last first day of high school, and I asked
Okay.
him, "Want to have dinner with me?" And I said, "You pick." And while I was in the shower, he texted me that he was going to play basketball with his friends. So
What? No, no, yeah. So this is the situation. Like, yeah, this is the type of boy mom this is a big problem. Like, he has clearly your son is independent and has his own friends to play with, and he's not playing with you. That's crazy. I don't know. Like, so this is her just getting out of the shower, wearing just with a towel wrapped around her. Okay. She looks like she I don't know. Yeah. So she's like she is basically trying not to cry while she's making this post to everybody on TikTok. And I guess in the boy mom community, yeah, I see hashtag boy moms. Although that's him. This is like a reactor to it. Um, and she's really, really extremely heartbroken. She's heartbroken because her son wants to play with his friends, because because her son wants to play with his friends after school on the first day of school instead of him, which is exactly what's supposed to happen, right? I mean, oh, is this blurring? It shouldn't be getting blurry. One second. You know, and this is a public post, so I guess it's okay for me to react to it. So I guess first of all, I want to have a little empathy for her because she's clearly, in a lot of pain in this situation, right? It does seem like she made her son her whole world, and basically part of her emotional support system here. And yeah, and he's growing up like he's on a proper natural development path so far, and it looks like it's taking something away from her that she needed. Um, but I hope that she can vent all of that out on the internet, and then not to her son. So I just hope her son isn't able to see a TikTok like this of her, because that would be like the nail in the coffin for him if he saw that, I think. But yeah, I mean, I wanted to get some humor here. Like, I wanted to find the humor in these things and not kind of just make it super serious. But like, she's clearly having like she's clearly in something, like in a situation that just kind of developed in a way that is not healthy, you know? Yeah. So she's clearly, no, the relationship between her and her son, oh my God, the relationship between her and her son is clearly developed in a way that's not healthy, right? Can we agree on that? Like, this isn't like, yeah. Um, but I don't know how to do this. Like, the fact that stood me up part is the problem, because it's like, okay, so after your first day of school, you're coming back, home, because I'm making dinner. I can't even make fun of this. Oh my God, I just feel so bad, because it's like, this is, oh shit. Maybe this is just not for me, like this specific type of video, because I feel too bad about their situation to make fun of it. Like, I don't know. Anyways, that's rough.
all his life, bro. Shit, I'm glad he went. It's the first day of senior year. He don't want to hang out with you. You need to get a life, lady. And you did not get stood up. He just canceled on you. Don't make this shit weird, bro. That is not your man. I don't even think he said yes. But don't you think that this is a conversation that you need to be having with your son? Instead of posting this desperate ass video embarrassing the both of you? Am I missing something, bro? Look, I don't have kids, so I don't know how it feels to have a child grow up and not want to hang out with you no more. Like, I can kind of see where she's coming from, but is it really this serious, bro? Or is there something else going on? I don't know, bro. I thought parents liked it when their kids got older and started doing their own thing so they can have more time to do their own shit. Like, whatever happened to hobbies, bro? She gotta be single, bro.
So I just got stood up by my son.
So like I agree with what he's saying, except should that be a conversation that she's having with her son? I don't think so. I don't think that she should be having that conversation with her son. I don't think her son should ever know anything about her breakdown for him because he stood her up. I think what she's doing here, putting it on the internet to get feedback from other human beings around her age and with her problems, I think that's much better. And yeah, I mean, I guess I kind of think it sucks that this video of hers made it so far around the internet because he might see it now, her son. But I think the main thing was she wanted to get some support, and I hope she got it. But yeah, people were like, yeah, why are you making it weird? She said that he canceled on her. No. It's not that she canceled on him. It's not that. Sorry. How can I put this like over here? I don't know why TikTok is getting cut off. Oh, I think. Yes. Although ideally this would be just. So someone's like, why are you making it weird? Why y'all making it weird? She said, can't understand. I don't talk like these people talk. Why y'all making it weird? She's sad her son canceled on her. Clearly she's emotional since she wanted to be and hang out with him. Y'all are so weirdos making this sexual. Get a life and spend time with y'all's mothers. They ain't here forever. That I get that. That's true. That's very true. But it's the fact that she said stood me up. Stood me up is something that, like, listen, for the last 30 years, we've been hearing that phrase stood me up in like a dating context exclusively. Like, I've never heard that being used in any other context. So that makes it seem a bit like it's not that your son canceled, it's that your son kind of broke your heart by not showing up. Like, broke your heart in a way that someone who you really depend on emotionally would have broken your heart, which is the problem here. I think maybe this guy doesn't completely understand. Although maybe he's had that kind of situation when, I don't know. And someone else is like, as a mother of a boy child, this is so disgusting. And Jasmine's like, am I the only one who feels bad for her? No, I feel bad for her too. Like, I get it. I get that she's going through it, but yeah. It's still bad. It's bad, but I feel bad for her. I feel bad for her son. I hope her son doesn't know, and I hope that no, she's not a predator. She's in us. Like, I think people underestimate, like, and don't have the imagination to understand how weird sort of like toxic things, like toxic relationships, can just develop out of something that went, like, if you didn't have the training, like, I think there are courses on parenting, but there aren't courses on, I don't know if there are courses on these sorts of situations that can come up, because like psychology is a new field itself, right? All right. But before I just assume, I should just ask the question, like, has anybody else used the term stood up in a context that's not like dating relationship, like romantic relationship? I'm gonna need to say that again. So before I jump to conclusions about what she meant that she was feeling by the phrase stood up, I should ask, have any of you also used the term stood up in a context that was not romantic? That's the real, like, that's where it started off on like that note for me. Yeah. All right. What else? What's this one?
All that work and what did it get me? When you're a boy mom and you know
Okay,
one
well, the text is, when you're a boy mom and you know one day some girl will come and snatch up the little work of art that you raised to be the perfect man.
day some girl will come up and snatch the work of art that you raised to be the perfect man. And then she
And then she won't let you come over without calling first. Anyone else feel this way? No. You mean like your boyfriend develops the way that, you know, you're supposed to develop in our society, meets someone, attempts to start a family and set normal, healthy boundaries. You're thinking all the work that you did to create this son who can do that, all the work that you did. But that's the thing, I guess. It's like you might be taking just a bit too much ownership over like the work that you did, because actually it's like it's the whole society's job to raise a kid. I think that's one of the problems in like Western and most of the world right now. The way that it works is like it's the parent only, or the parents feel like they're the sole person who raises the kid, but that's not actually how it works. Like, yeah, you're the primary caregiver, but it takes a village to raise a child. And that's why when people grow up, they create their own families. They have their own natural desires to start their own families and to set their own healthy boundaries, and that's not work that you obviously you didn't do any work there to help them understand the importance of those boundaries. They're doing it kind of like they're setting those boundaries in spite of the fact that you didn't teach them how to set those boundaries, because society helped raise them so that they understand that those are healthy boundaries. And so yeah, I think that's the thing that's missing from this kind of perspective.
she won't let you come over without calling first.
Yeah.
Anyone else feel this way? No. And I know what you're thinking. You're
Yeah, no. Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be. Although at the same time, like, I mean, I do think that this is a feeling that a lot of, moms and like new moms are going to experience, even if it's like, I think maybe that is the reason. It's because it's not just you raising the kid, although it feels like it because you're putting out 110% to raise your kid. Ideally, still, it's not just you raising the kid. It's the whole society. Everyone is raising everyone's kids, kind of, not in a weird way, but I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's just other things happening. There's other things at play to help your kid develop. And so in the end, it might feel like a smack in the face when your kid goes off and doesn't want you to come over without calling. But yeah, I mean, your kid wants to kind of like do the hanky panky. It would be weird if you just showed up without calling and they were in the middle of it, right? It's not just your kid anymore. They got their own little pad, and they're doing their own grown-up things. And yeah, I think if I'm gonna make a video like this, I don't want to make it from the perspective of, oh my god, you horrible person. I think if I'm gonna make videos about this topic, I think it should be kind of like like, I'm gonna put my psychologist hat on. I'm not a psychologist. I've got like barely a degree in psychology, but like from that course you learn, try to hold other people in high regard and see the humanness in them, the goodness in them, and look at it from that perspective instead of just suddenly being like, no, you're horrible, you sick fuck. Like, I don't like that. I don't think I want to do it that way. So yeah, I can see your perspective, and I'm offering now a reason that I guess we don't think about. We don't think about the fact that we're not the sole source of our children's development. Even though we give 110%, our children grow up and they have their own desires that come from them that nobody had to put there, and then they have their own values that come from you and also from everyone else around you. And yeah, I think more parents are going to have these feelings than are letting on. I think this is kind of more of like a therapy session for parents who feel like her, and I think that's fair. Like this shouldn't be saying like just because she's having these feelings doesn't mean she's acting on them, right? So like, have you ever had weird feelings? And does that make you a horrible person? So then what the fuck? Anyways, yeah. So I think it's cool, like, but also something that her son shouldn't know about. Like, yeah.
Probably thinking, hey girl, there's no way it could get worse than that. Except it does.
Oh,
She
did it?
doubled down. Let's get into it.
It got
and
worse.
break it
Okay.
down.
Why is it that if a dad posts about being violent about somebody dating his daughter, it's like rah, rah, rah. But if a mom posts about being protective over her son, it's overbearing, crazy, seek therapy.
First things first, this is 2024, and I think most people nowadays can all collectively agree that men being violent over their daughters without cause, it's just not a thing anymore. It's not very common. I'm sure it happens. I know somebody's going to be like, it happened to me. Whatever, cool. That's a whataboutism. The difference between you and a man is the fact that the wording you use suggests that you're in love with your son. Some girl will come and snatch up the work of art that you raised to be the perfect man. Miss Ma'am, you raised him to be the perfect man for her, not for you. Imagine that. And then you say, she won't let you come over without calling first. Oh my God.
Well, I mean, I feel like she raised him to be the perfect man for himself and for society. And then what, and for the family that he starts with the girl that he chooses. I think that's more like kind of more apt, but yeah, I get it. The way that she's phrasing it, now I'm looking more deeper into the word she's using. Some girl. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. What time is it? All right, we got time for a few more here. Let's see. All right, what's this?
Okay, did anybody else?
Okay, I don't need to see this. I mean, this isn't relevant. Oh no, I guess it is relevant. I mean, it's because his mom is he's sleeping with his mom while his wife is pregnant. That's weird. Oh boy.
A mom gifted her married son a cruise for two. Pretty sweet, right? It turns out the cruise for two was for the mom and her son, not the son and
Why is it blanked out? Why is there black here? Hold on. I think I know what happened.
A mom gifted her married son a cruise for two. Pretty sweet, right? It turns out the cruise for two was for the mom and her son, not the son and his wife. Boy, moms just can't seem to let go, can they? The man
Oh my-
shared in his since deleted Reddit post that he and his wife are struggling in their marriage after she had a rough pregnancy and his mother had a cancer scare at the same time. This son spent way too much of his time helping his mother, who demanded constant attention and wasn't
Cancer
there for his
scare.
pregnant wife, which drove a wedge in their marriage. The mom
Yeah,
didn't end
okay.
up having cancer, but she did seem to enjoy taking advantage of her son's time and energy despite
She had a cancer scare. That sounds like your mom. That sounds. Oh man, yeah. That sounds like one of those situations where she's just like, "Oh, you need to help somebody else, but what about me? I mean, I've this lump, this lump." So it's so basically, her son calls her. No, yeah. So basically, her son calls her and is like, "Mom, I gotta take my wife to the hospital. She's about to give birth." And his mom is like, "She, oh, you have to care for your wife? Oh, okay. That's fine. I mean, but hey, but there's this thing. There's this thing. I just noticed I have a thing on my stomach. It's like a different color slightly. Oh, I bet and you know what? It hurts too. Oh yeah, ow, jeez. Yeah, I think I gotta go to the hospital. I think it might be cancer. You gotta help me. Don't you love your mummy bunny licky lips?" Okay, so he goes to the hospital. So he takes her to the hospital and stays with her to find out that she doesn't actually have cancer. Meanwhile, his wife definitely was giving birth and did alone. Yeah, that's gonna drive a wedge in the relationship. I mean, I guess that yeah.
Knowing his marriage was on the rocks. After the baby was born,
Whoops.
his marriage was on the rocks. After the baby was born, the man noticed that his wife's distress was connected to their mother's presence in his home. He stopped inviting his mother around. It seemed to enjoy taking advantage of her son's time and energy, despite knowing his marriage was on the rocks. After the baby was born, the man noticed that his wife's distress was connected to their mother's presence in his home.
Okay.
He stopped inviting his mother around, and their marriage improved. When his daughter's first
Okay,
birthday arrived,
yeah.
he did decide to invite his mom again. She came with a gift, but it wasn't for the granddaughter. It was for her son, and it was a cruise for two. At first, he was excited because he and his wife could use the escape, but the mother shut that down quickly, saying that the cruise was for him and her to bond because they lost touch after the baby was born. To make matters
No, I think you're supposed to lose touch after the baby is born. Like that's what's supposed to happen. You know, I know it's sad, but if you already didn't have a good relationship, and if you're doing weird shit like that, yeah, you should just give it a rest. You should just give it a rest there, man.
worse, the mom presented this gift in front of the wife and the entire party, making it all about her. The term enmeshment comes to mind here, which often
Right.
refers to the toxic attachments that some mothers will have with their sons. And it occurs when a mother becomes overly involved in her son's life, blurring boundaries and creating a codependent relationship. But this man is now grown and has a family of his own. His spouse is having to deal with a stereotypical toxic mother-in-law who can't let her son go. Boy moms, you have to let your sons leave the nest. The only way to handle a situation like this is firm boundaries. He must communicate with his mom and his wife and work towards a more amicable path, or consider continuing with minimal contact and absolutely take a pass on that mother-son cruise. A mom gifted her married son a cruise for two. Pretty sweet, right? It turns out the
Yeah, I mean, if the cruise is if he has the tickets now, he should just take his wife, but or just return the tickets. Just be like, sorry, I understand now that these tickets were not for me and my wife, you know, who just had a kid. Well, that would be weird though. Like they have a kid. Like how are they gonna take? Yeah, that would make sense. It's like, well, we just had a kid. We can't really go on a cruise, but maybe they can go on a cruise with a kid. It's just there's two tickets, so I guess they wouldn't count. I guess the children under a certain age are free. That's probably how it would work, anyways. But yeah, so I guess yeah, no, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, like, just sorry. I realize these tickets were not for, you know, me and my wife. They were for me and you to go on a cruise and without my wife. And I can't do that because we're trying to raise a healthy family, and the direction that you're trying to take us in is not going to allow us to do that. So I appreciate the offer, Mom, but yeah, you're gonna have to give me these back here. And you could take someone else. I mean, I know that George from your chess club is he's a strapping young 75-year-old guy. You should go for him, I think. There, take him on the cruise and have a great time. Yeah. You're a young 75.